Rob, what is our first main topic today?
Well, John, I have to get a prop for this one.
Oh, it's big when a prop time happens.
It's prop time.
Whoa, look at that prop.
Eddie Sanchez says, "Hey, John and Rob, I just read that after 30 years, Disney is reviving The Rocketeer with a sequel. It will be written by Ed Ricourt and produced by, David Oyelowo.
Yeah.
I never get his right name, but by the way, I love him. The official film title will be The Return of the Rocketeer. The story will center on a retired Tuskegee Airman who takes up the mantle of the title hero. Are you guys excited for this news? What are your thoughts? And bring on the filthy." Well, let me tell you, John, The Rocketeer is one of my favorite comic book adaptations. I think it's a delightful, wonderful throwback of a movie. There's a reason Joe Johnston was then later tapped to direct Captain America, the First Avenger. I love this film, and I actually, before everybody starts screaming, oh, it's going to be woke or something, I really like the idea of this technology being used by someone else. I love this comic. Dave Stevens, who is sadly no longer with us, his original Rocketeer comic is one of the most beautifully drawn comic books of all time. And while they did tone down Jennifer Connelly's part, she was supposed to be Betty Page as she was in the original comics. They toned it down for a family audience, but I love the first movie. I mean, I love the score. I love everything. ILM's effects. I love everything about it. Deadline says the original movie, released in 1991, was directed by Joe Johnston and adapted from the Dave Stevens graphic novel. In that film, which made close to $47 million at the domestic box office, and it became a fan fave for the studio, a young pilot stumbles onto a prototype jetpack that allows him to become a high-flying masked hero. The Return of the Rocketeer will have an all-new creative directive, with Ricourt's story focusing on a retired Tuskegee Airman who takes up the Rocketeer mantle. Now, I don't know how you feel about the movie, John, but do you love it? Because I do. It didn't make much money.
Well, I mean, it made okay money for the time that did. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the world's biggest Rocketeer fan.
Oh,
I don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the Rocketeer. I don't. But it's, I'd be lying to you I'd be disingenuous if I told you it was like one of my favorites that I look back to, or that I look back on with a huge amount of fondness, or thought it was like absolutely the movie to see. That being said, you have to recognize the fan base that it does have. People love The Rocketeer, man. They love The Rocketeer. I still have people writing in messages. I've had dozens of messages over the past year or two, people writing in saying, you think they'll ever do another Rocketeer? You think they'll ever do another Rocketeer? This thing has a passionate, rabid fan base that people like. And I'll tell you what, if you're going to do another Rocketeer, this sounds like the right way to do it. The Tuskegee doing one where a guy was a retired Tuskegee Airman, that's a terrific idea. I love that.
Yeah, they can set it rather than during World War II or pre-World War II. They could set it in the 50s.
They can
which I would love.
They can move the time period forward. They can move it all forward. And getting a guy like David Oyelowo in there, Academy Award nominated actor. I love this guy whenever he pops up and stuff. Now they're not saying for sure that he's going to star in it, but they are saying that it's probably going to be him starring in it, but he is producing it and all that kind of stuff. So listen, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to do this movie, if you're going to do another Rocketeer, this sounds like the right way to go about it. Will it be any good? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But if you're going to do it, this sounds like the right approach. Anyway, the question is for you guys. What do you think about the sounds of a new Rocketeer? I personally think it sounds pretty good. Maybe you do too. Maybe you don't. Whatever it is you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.